Why the urgency to make financial education a core subject? It really boils down to two things: greater challenges that these youth will face today, but also greater opportunities. Let's dive into the average life of a high school graduate today. Most will enter into college. And when they enter into college, they're paying a high premium. In fact, college costs have outpaced inflation 3 to 4 times since the 1970s. So they're paying a huge premium for a degree that is valued a lot less. It's valued a lot less because so many people have a degree, so the competition is greater. Now, when they graduate with that degree, they're going into a job market. The problem is a lot of entry level jobs are being eliminated. In fact, data points to 10 to 20% of entry level jobs have been eliminated due to AI. Some projections show that going as high as 50% in the next decade. That's a very scary proposition for our college graduates. So many are underemployed or unemployed, one of the two. From there, they're having faced the reality of debt. Today, as of March 2026, 25% of our student loans are delinquent. So 1 in 4 student loan borrowers are delinquent on their payments. That's problematic. Additionally, the rise of consumer debt, we're at all-time highs for consumer debt. Back in the 70s, the average person paid off their consumer debt when they're about 35, mid 40s, around that time frame. Today, it lasts well into retirement. So they're not paying off that debt. All those problems compound, and where it impacts is their ability to invest and secure their retirement. If we look at home ownership rates for young people, that has plummeted. Nowadays, they're not just competing with individuals, they're competing with institutional buyers that are driving up the market and pricing them out. Additionally, the other factors are contributing as well. In fact, home ownership delays are about 10 to 15 years. So they're buying 10 to 15 years later. So somebody buying a home when they're 40, they're going to be paying a mortgage until they're 70. That's problematic. Additionally, the retirement market has changed quite significantly. Back in my parents, grandparents' day, maybe around my day, there was defined benefit plans that were very common in the private market. Nowadays, it's extremely rare, and those guaranteed payments for life, right? Those are extremely rare. In addition, people aren't contributing enough to their retirement plan already today without some of these other factors. Combine that with a very scary thought that Social Security for our kids, I have very little hope for. People graduating today, I have very little hope that that'll be around for them. Fingers crossed, but it is a desperate situation. So they're facing very challenging times, high competition, high risk, yet our schools are doing nothing. Now, there are greater opportunities as well. I'll touch on that real quick. It's never been easier to start a business. It's never been easier to invest, lower transaction rates, information at our fingertips. Life is a lot easier, so we have more time to dedicate to things important to us. So there's greater opportunity. But our kids aren't going to be prepared to avoid the risk and take advantage of opportunity because financial education is not taught at a level that meets academic standards. In fact, the average kid will get less than 20 hours of financial education in their entire high school career. States that require the highest standards, it's only 50 teachable hours. That's one work week. That will do little or nothing, especially when you combine that with the fact that states don't meet minimum standards when they're teaching that subject matter. Now, all the problems that I mentioned, all the opportunities I mentioned, there's only one subject that has a direct impact on those areas, the most important areas of people's lives, which is financial education. Now, when I talk financial education, that is inclusive of the income side as well. And everything I mentioned, financial education has a direct impact. No other subject has a one-to-one impact like this subject matter does. Yet it's treated well below academic standards in terms of time, rigor, and accountability. So we have an urgent matter at hand. Our kids need us to step up and make financial education core so they are protected, so they have the information they need to make qualified and competent financial decisions. So they don't get themselves into early financial problems that spill over their entire lifetime. It's time to make financial education core and put the focus of our academic system on graduating self sufficient and contributing members of our society.